Ready to spring clean your landing pages? This is a copy of the audio-only webinar delivered on LinkedIn in 2023, and it contains actionable tips and tricks from myself. I'm a senior copywriter. I've had my own copywriting business for more than 3 years, and at this point, I have over 500 five-star reviews on People Per Hour. I take direct work, and I work on multiple platforms like Upwork, People Per Hour, etc., delivering content like landing pages, blogs, white papers, case studies, and the like. So in today's webinar, what we're going to cover is targeting, SEO, design, and content. Those are the basic elements of any good landing page. So how are we going to define that target audience? Are we going to consider SEO, or is this a paid strategy? How will the design help to influence sales? And lastly, what content are we actually going to put on the page, and how are we going to structure it? So starting off with targeting, you want to really define who your customer is. You want to be sure what they care about. You want to explain how you're going to help them solve their pain points. And you're going to keep a little note for yourself about what kind of emotional levers are going to work for your customers. So when you refine your targeting, you want to start with an audience persona questionnaire, and I'll link it in the description below of this video, but it's a template that basically helps you understand who your customers are and what they care about. You can see here there are several questions that you should ask yourself, and you can pause to read those. Once you have these questions filled out, you want to turn it into like a one-page audience persona template. If you're not sure how to do that, get in touch and I'll provide you with an example. But basically, you want a working document that's easy for you to reference in the future when you write all of your copy. Next, we want to talk about SEO. So first off, is it something that you want to do, or are you going to have a paid strategy? It is a long burn to optimize your copy for search. It helps you jockey for position 0 and get organic traffic, but it isn't suitable for all brands and all types of products because it can be a time-consuming process. And if you have the budget, you may want to go that direction first and earn your organic traffic based on brand name recognition. But here is an amazing table from Search Engine Land that tells you exactly what goes into SEO. This is from 2021, and I haven't seen an updated version since, but if you find it, do message me in the comments and let me know. I'll put the link to this table in the description of this video, but basically it tells you all the things that go into copy. So the quality of the page, the research that you do, and the backlinks that you have to credible sources, the answers that you're giving customers, how deep you go, the keywords you're using, how fresh this content is, whether you have interesting multimedia, the general architecture of your page. Is it mobile first? Is it well structured? How does it stack up against your competition? How fast does the page load? And are any links broken? Do you have any malware on your website? Is any of the content created by AI and therefore could be low quality? Are you being intrusive to the customer and bombarding them with things like pop-ups? Is it localized? Are you showing your expertise? All these things impact your SEO quality score. But the most basic elements are the keywords that you use, your basic on-page SEO. So you can use Google's keyword planner and do it yourself, or pay someone like me or an SEO specialist to provide you with a keyword research report. Now, if you have an existing website, you're going to need a keyword audit. That will look at sort of what you're ranking for right now, how you could improve your existing website and go forward. But if you're starting with a from scratch landing page, a Google Keyword Planner report will be just fine. You want to focus on high traffic, low competition phrases, and choose one unique focus keyword for every page. Once you've picked that keyword for your landing page, you want to ensure the density is between 1% and 3%. So basically about once every single paragraph on the page or every 100 words. You want to have it in the subtitles, the meta, the alt text, and you want to have internal links to other pages within your website and also external links to like high quality sources like .gov websites or big news media organizations or stat aggregators like Statista and things like that. Then once a year, you want to audit. So before you publish your page, you want to check the density, and I'll show you how to do that. But you also want to do a website audit about once a year and see where any of your backlinks may have broken, or your pages aren't rerouting properly, or your keywords are no longer high-ranking search words. Because as your audience grows up, they may change how they search for your brand. Checking your keywords is super easy, and I'll put a link to this Copyrightly tool. But you basically just copy and paste, or paste in the URL of the specific page, and it runs a little audit. So this is for a popular board game website. You can see here, unfortunately, their top ranking words are nonsense words like account and please. You don't actually start to see density, and it's a bit on the low side for useful terms like board game. Until the 2-word phrases, and it's only 0.83%, which is a bit low. So PPC versus SEO, I mentioned before, do you need SEO if you have a paid strategy? I mean, not necessarily. There are lots of brands that don't really worry about organic search. They sort of powerhouse through advertising to get their name at the top. I'm pretty sure that we weren't searching for ride sharing when Uber came along. So organic search might not be relevant if nobody has ever heard of what you do. You may want to have a paid strategy that gets your brand name in front of consumers and tells them how you're solving a problem they never thought anyone could. So the type of copy that you use for PPC is mostly advertising-based copy. So it could be shopping ads, paid social, search, remarketing, banner, video, that sort of thing. For SEO, it's the long form content. So it's the actual page copy yourself, your landing pages, news stories, product descriptions. A lot of people forget that they need to have keywords for that if they have an organic strategy, blog articles, and case studies. You can buy ads and start promoting your product right away with PPC, and it'll be quick and you can start to get sales this month. But with SEO, it takes about 6 months to really see any traction for anything that you do today. Next, we want to talk about design. So this is like how the page is laid out, the white spaces, the images, the animations, icons, all that sort of stuff. It breaks up the text with visual elements and reinforces your brand identity. So for me, great landing page design is about a pyramid structure. So you put the most compelling argument with the least amount of detail up top. So like X widget will save you time and money. And then you go down more detail. How? Does it have a guarantee? What's the customer service like? What's the return policy? What kind of people is it targeted at? Who would want this? And why should we choose your company over competitors? So you can see how the detail sort of fans out into a pyramid shape. You do want to make it easy to scan because people likely will be on mobile for at least part, if not all of their journey. So you want to avoid big blocks of ugly text, right? Break it up with icons and symbols, images, backgrounds, video, animation, whatever is like relevant, graphs even. And then don't forget about your brand style. Use your brand colors, use your brand fonts. Make sure that the aesthetic looks the same from your landing pages through to your main website. Unless you are doing like a micro brand or a very specific campaign with like another brand and you need to adhere to their brand guidelines or do a partnership, but that's a very rare case. Here's design examples of what to do and what not to do. So on the left, you'll see the page for Freer. You see how much white space it has, how the design breathes. They use little drawing doodles to make the images interesting, even though they're using stock photography. It's very clear what you should click next. So either the Get Started, Let's Talk, or Contact Us. Those are all really highlighted. Whereas on cruise.com, which is still a huge website, and I think out of the US, they're absolutely cluttered. There are 3 different booking buttons, a bunch of little top navigation and mid navigation. There's a search bar. There's special offers. It's not clear where you're supposed to go. So I think this is a good example and a rubric to follow going forward. Next, we can talk about content. So this is the like media that you use to share your message, so all the copy, images, and things like that actually form the bulk of what's on the page. You want to create that emotional undercurrent and explain how you're going to solve the problem for your customers. And I do this by creating a page outline first. So what content pillar? Is this informative? Is this an education piece? Is this an inspiring piece? Are you telling someone's story and getting that across? So what's the content pillar? Then which audience segment is this targeted to and what tone of voice are you going to employ? What's the focus keyword if you're using an SEO strategy? And then lastly, have that outline. So what's the most compelling point? Second most compelling point? Further detail. If you're not sure what further questions people might have that relate to your focus keyword, you can simply Google that keyword and look at the people also ask section of Google. It's like a little box that pops up after the first couple of results, and it can give you more information. So if your keyword is online shopping, the things people ask are, what's the best online shopping site? What's the best online shopping site in the UK, et cetera, et cetera. So you can answer some of those questions in order to help rank for those answers and also provide further detail for your customers. For me, writing good copy is about targeting specifically to an audience, what they care about, what your product does that is amazing, and why you're different from competitors. Really honing in on that brand, mirroring them, using jargon and phrases that they're familiar with, not alienating them with super business specific terms. If you want to know more about this, you can pick up my book. It is The Copywriter's Formula. It's available on Amazon in all formats, and it's free if you have Kindle Unlimited. It's a little desk guide, and it is highly paginated so that you can learn specific things like AI, copywriting, so on and so forth. When you actually write your copy, you want to have that tone and style guide, that audience persona up on one side of your screen with your research, your document on the other. That way you can constantly refer to it and put the most compelling arguments up at top and then fan out the detail. And then lastly, when you review it, read it out loud. You will skip over mistakes when you read it inside your head. So read the page out loud, cut anything that sounds verbose or anything that might be misleading to the customer, and don't be afraid to put in more power words. So things that softly provide a connotation of innovation, strength, luxury, like pepper words like that into your copy in order to add a dynamic level and do a little bit of subliminal marketing. And I have a case study in a Google Doc that breaks down the business page for udemy.com. It's an online university, and I think they have a really beautiful landing page that's very crisp and clear, shows why businesses would want to use Udemy in like 2 seconds. And it's got a very strong headline and proposition that passes the blink test. So the blink test is when you look at the top of a web page before you scroll down, you should be able to understand exactly what they do before you blink again. So you look at it, the next year a business thrives on learning, blink. Okay, I got it. Businesses need learning. This is a learning page. Got it. And you can do that for like the second level and so on and so forth. But you want to make landing pages clear and scannable if you want them to be effective. And that's everything in this webinar. If you have any questions, you can reach me on LinkedIn. I'll put the link to my profile in the description of this video so you can message and reach out directly. You can also book a meeting with me for free on my website. I block off 15 minutes. We can chat about your brand, whatever you need. Visit creativecopyuk.com. That's CRE8 TIVECOPYUK.com. It's on the screen, and you can click the little book a meeting icon and throw in 15 minutes to tell me about your brand, see if I can help you write amazing sales copy. Anything else, do get in touch. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe. I'll be putting up all my webinars as I do them so you can reference them in the future. If you miss the session, I'll provide a link. And thank you so much for your time and attention. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.